Thank you, Chair. Mr. Muntz, has the department ever conducted an emission projection using a scenario where the carbon tax was higher than $170 a ton?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Does the department emission model show the government can meet their 2050 emission targets without raising the carbon tax over $170 a ton?
Sorry, did you say, what year did you say
50.
2050? 2050 is our net zero commitment.
So does the emissions, does the price go over $170 a ton to get that target?
I think the minister answered questions, I think, about the future of the carbon price post 2030. But John, I can turn it to you.
That's correct. That the government hasn't, neither the department nor the government has had any kind of formal discussion about possible increases to the carbon price. The 2050 target is a formal target. The government's emission reduction plan doesn't have a prescriptive pathway to achieve all of those reductions. It very clearly says that the current plan is a plan to move the economy in the direction of and to start taking some of the early actions needed to get to 2050. It doesn't include all of the measures needed.
So it doesn't include a carbon price? Like, to do those projections, you have to have, it's based off a carbon price.
Any projections out to 2050? We have a target out to 2050.
Well, you have a projection to hit net zero by 2050.
We don't have a projection, we have a target.
Well, did Environment Canada ever provide Nervaeus Consulting or research access to their emissions model EC Pro?
We work closely with the Canadian Climate Institute, who use the Navius model. We also, it's a small community in Canada of modeling. As I said, we've started up a multi-modeling forum to share models and data. But most of the data that Navius would get for their modeling would be from sources that we would use, the National Inventory Report or Statistics Canada data.
So they had access to EC Pro?
Though they have their own CGE model that they use. We talk to them. They can see our, like...
The EC Pro, though, model?
Yeah, they know how the EC Pro works, yeah.
Okay, and they would be able to work with it. Okay.
Yeah, and the model is based on CCI, comparable in terms of results, whether they're looking at individual policies or overall progress. So really the two models they're from the same family, computable general equilibrium models. They're just customized in different ways for different organizations.
Who would okay that?
Who would okay what?
Them having access to EC Pro.
Well, they don't want access to EC Pro. They have their own model.
You just said they would have access to it, so who would okay that?
They would. Who would okay?
Who would say, here's the EC Pro model that we've been asking for here at the committee?
Oh, well, we would share.
Who would give them that access?
We have the document that we shared with the committee that outlines, that's our best evergreen documentation of the model. That's what we give academics, and we would give Navius if they wanted to know, like, the latest state of our model.
Okay. Do Canadian hospitals pay a carbon tax on their energy bills?
Over to you, John.
Pardon? I'd ask the officials.
Yes. I'm going to have to get, well, I'm going to...
Simple question. Do Canadian hospitals pay a carbon tax on their energy bills? Say if they're using natural gas to heat their hospital, would they be paying a carbon tax?
Specific arrangements for institutions such as hospitals, and I'm happy to provide the committee with a written description of those arrangements.
So would those arrangements include, is the carbon tax fully refunded back to Canadian hospitals?
We can return to the committee with fuller details on that.
So, okay, thank you, and I think that's pretty close, eh?
Yeah. Okay.